Guess who's back? I thought Andersen was dead, but they're not. They've come back to life. And today, for the first time ever, I'm installing an Andersen A2 charger here on my Swiss cheese wall. The 12th charger to have been fitted on this honorary place in my house. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Look at that. French walnut, I believe it is. I went for the most luxurious, bougie one that I could find because that's what Andersen is all about. If you want a cheap plastic box stuck on the side of your wall, don't get an Andersen. But if you want something that looks stunning and is superb quality, Andersen is the way forward. A few months ago, you might remember I got called out for clickbait when I posted a video called Bankrupt. I think that was the title, like bankrupt. It was really dramatic, and of course everyone thought Artisan Electrics had gone bankrupt. But it wasn't us. It was Andersen EV who made the most beautiful charging points. We absolutely loved them, and I was genuinely gutted to hear that they'd gone into administration. So I was super happy when EVIOS, who have bought Andersen, contacted us to ask us if we'd like to give you guys an update. I don't know why, but it's like one of the only charging points that I never got around to fitting on my house. So today is my opportunity. So if you watched the last video I fitted at my Swiss cheese wall, it was a Simpson & Partners one, and it's quite ironic really because Simpson & Partners was started by the people who originally started Andersen. I like the look of the Simpson & Partners, and it is small, but the issue for me is this. So it looks beautiful when there's nothing plugged into it, but as soon as you get your nice blue Tesla charging cable, it just looks hideous and it just ruins the whole thing. What I've always loved about the Andersen is that it's basically the only charging point on the market that I know of where you completely hide the tethered cable. So you've got a tethered charger. No matter what charging points we are recommending to our customers, depending on their situation, we always say, if they're not sure, go with tethered. I was ribbed for using a terrible screwdriver when I installed this, and believe it or not, I've still not got myself one of these silly Allen key things that you need. Now this is going to be the fun part because the cable entry on the Simpson & Partners was on the left. I believe the Andersen one is still on the right, so we're going to have to shift the cable across slightly, I think. Fortunately though, because the Andersen's bigger, I think we can move it down as well, so we should still have enough length on the cable, but we'll see. So this is the chassis or body of the charging point, and it looks kind of the same as what it was before. I'm not really surprised because EVIOS have not that long taken over, but I know that they do have some interesting changes planned, which we'll talk about that later in the video because I think there's some great ideas coming. But essentially these brushes kind of clean the cable when you wrap it round. So the tethered cable connects in here. This then seals off, it's all waterproof, you've got a cable clamp on there, tethered cable wraps around there, and here is where all the connections go in. Then you've got CT connections there if needed. There's an adaptable fuse kit that you can use, or you can put solar integration into it as well. And this is basically the only button on the whole thing, which is what you use to reset it or to pair it up and stuff like that. Cable will go in the bottom here for us, so we're going to have to drill out a little hole in the bottom there and bring the cable in. Fairly simple really. So another thing that I do like that EVIOS have done, or at least this is new since I last fitted an Andersen, which I must admit has been a while, is they used to put all the screws in here, so you had to undo all of the screws. Now they've only left one screw in, just one retaining screw. The reason is you need to pull this off in order to click the side panels in, and then you screw it down. The idea will be to put the charger on about that height so that it covers up the holes. As always, I try to find one or two holes that match, and they never do, so I'm going to have to drill 4 new holes in my Swiss cheese wall. Cable is going to have to move across to here because it goes in there, so if it's about that height we should have enough length even if we shift it across, which is a massive relief. So cable is going to go in there, that's our line. The most sexy drill ever, the most luxurious and expensive drill to go with the most luxurious and expensive charging point, and this bad boy has barely been used, so I'm quite excited to give it a go. When it comes to fixings, apparently this is the fixings kit, so all the little fiddly screws that go in it, but we have no screws and raw plugs. Something so simple, and yet I don't have any on my van. Time to make an emergency call. John and Ruben are on their way over, and they said they'll be here at 10:40, which is in 4 minutes from now. So I've got just enough time to have a little tidy up, prep the next steps, and those guys will be here to save the day. So now that Ruben and John have saved the day and I've got some raw plugs and screws to use, I've got a special announcement for you guys I nearly forgot to say. We're going to be at Fully Charged Live this year. If you don't know what it is, it's an amazing electric vehicle related exhibition run by the Fully Charged Live team, who have an amazing YouTube channel that's just hit 1 million subscribers, and they have given us our own stand this year so that you guys can come over and say hi. We can answer your questions about renewable energy or anything else that you're interested in. And the whole Artisan team are going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got a special discount code for you guys too. If you want to join us, use the code FCLAE20 to get 20% off tickets to Fully Charged Live. And Andersen, our friends EVIOS, are going to be there too. For some reason, this tool pouch has the perfect design to get a marksman wedged in. The issue that we've had in the past is they're quite heavy, and so trying to hold them, I mean, it's not that heavy, but trying to hold them against the wall and mark everything can be tricky and get it exactly level. What somebody said to me, do one fixing to start with, and then use that to level up the others. Then we can get it level without having to hold the weight of the whole thing. Now this is a cool new thing that they've implemented. Cardboard template, you've got your screw holes, so you can just bob it on the wall, mark your screw holes, and you've got cable entry holes here as well, so you know where to drill through the wall if you're doing rear entry. That's just going to be long enough, which is good. So this whole area here is not actually IP rated, so you've got a hole in the back so that you can do rear entry with the cables pre-made, but you don't have a hole in the bottom, and obviously we need to take our cable in here. So we're going to have to drill a hole here and probably just like that put a grommet in it, and then the compression part will happen here because this part is IP rated to protect the connections. One of the things, I guess, the elephants in the room is that with Andersen having gone into administration before, it might be a worry that what if it happens again? You know, like a lot of people wondering what would happen to the app and stuff like that. The good news is that EVIOS is not just a small company. So Andersen was a startup basically. They did amazing. I went on the training in 2018, beautiful product, great team and everything. But sometimes startups just don't survive because, you know, finances can be difficult, growth can be difficult. Now EVIOS has taken them over. It's a different ball game altogether because EVIOS has a ton of cash basically. They're backed by David Martell, who is a titan of the EV industry. He's been advising the government about EV charging infrastructure for like over a decade. They're kind of taking Andersen to the next level now. EVIOS have already been making their own EV chargers, which are quite a high-end luxury product already. And now they're just bringing Andersen into their family of products basically, and then trying to improve on what's already there. So I'm super confident now that Andersen's here for the foreseeable future, which is great for us as installers because it's a product that we love to recommend to our customers because of it being so beautiful. And now with EVIOS taking the lead on it, it's only going to get more improvements, a better app, new features potentially, so that it'll be even better, easier for us to install and better for our customers. My tools are rusty, that's how little they're getting used these days. Like I can't get the hole saw in there to open up that hole. I've got to kind of do it here at an angle. So I definitely think they could do with a 25mm hole. I guess when they invented these, we were just using SWA for most EV charger installs, but now with EV Ultra and NYYJ being very common, the charger needs to probably be updated to have a slightly larger cable entry. Problem is, if I cut the hole too close to the edge, then I'm not going to get the lock ring in. So it's actually got to go off to the side quite a bit. I think I've got a list here of stuff that they're working on. They're working on reduced packaging sizing. The drilling template is already in. I should have thought to use that, shouldn't I? That was a bit dumb. I forgot to actually use it. They've got a brand new website. One of the things I really like on the website is they've got this AR tool where you can actually preview what your charger will look like. So you can choose your colours and wood finishes and everything, which is what I did for this one, to get the most beautiful one that would fit best on my wall. And then you can look at it in AR on your phone, so you can like position it on the wall basically and see what it would look like, which is really cool, and kind of, you know, going with modern technology, which I like to see. Also, apparently they're working on some new colours, which is really exciting, and they've got a find an installer feature on their website now, which for me is brilliant, because to generate more leads for my business, I can register as an installer now on the Andersen website, and my company will appear. If anyone in this area is searching for an Andersen installer, we'll appear on the map and we'll get recommended by Andersen, which is really cool because it can generate more leads for my business. This is the sort of the Porsche of the EV charger world, really. In fact, I think if you look on the website, you can see some really nice Porsche Taycans being charged up by these. I definitely think if I was getting a Porsche Taycan, I would have to get this charger just to match with how beautiful the car looks. So in this particular case, we're not going to be using the CT wires, but I'll just keep them here just in case. Line, neutral and CPC conductors are neatly and carefully tucked into their respective terminals. Just do a final little check on the torque to make sure that they are tight enough, and it's always good to check the manufacturer's connections as well, just because sometimes they can come loose in transit. What I've got to do now is connect the tethered cable into here. There's a cover to go on there, cover to go on here, cover to go on here. Then I can put the side plates on, the top plate on, put the brushes on. It's a bit like Lego, you've kind of got to fit it all together. So we've got a little hex key to tighten up these screws, various bits and pieces in here that come in the pack. That is to secure the cable, and I think that secures with these two. So we take this tethered cable and we slide it through here. It's all pre-made up, pre-ferruled up and everything, which is nice. So all you've got to do is secure it into this particular terminal. Now there are two wires in this, the CP and the PP. I can never remember which one you need to connect in, so I'm just going to check the instructions. Okay, so it's the white one, which makes sense. So the PP one, orange cable not used, it says there. Right, so this is where I always get lost. Okay, so that one goes over there. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, this. That one goes over there. This one goes over here. Yeah, basically that seals it all up. Then we can put the side plates on. So these are the side panels, which are colour selectable. So I've chosen the Malmo blue. I just thought it looked really kind of luxury and artisanish. And that just clips on the side there, basically, like that, clips on the side. And then these brushes go over the top. Once you've screwed those down, then it kind of just holds the side panel into place. So all the little screws and brushes and everything's in place, all the plates are on, and now for the final chef's kiss moment, which is my favourite moment of fitting these. It's putting the wooden front cover on, which makes everything come together. So it just slots on like that, super easy. The tricky part is with these, you've just got a very long drop to get the screws in, so you need like an extension bar, probably the best way. Hold it like that, and then that just drops in. So now this flap lifts up and I can wind the cable up and tuck it in its little bed. And I never know which way to wind it, whether to wind it to the right or to the left. I would unwind it like that, I think. So I'm going to wind it this way. And this cable is so nice and flexible. So that, the plug then just tucks in there, no cable on show. And that is the beauty of the Andersen A2. So I've powered it on. So now in the Connect app, all we do is scan the QR code on our charger, which has the unique serial number on it. Boom. It's now adding. Device is not connected to the cloud. Set up Wi-Fi. 1, 2, 3. Wait till the lights flash amber. You're now in setup mode. Yeah, we've got a flashing amber light, so we go to the next step. Scanning for charger Bluetooth. Here we go. There, it's found my charge point. Click on that. Scan for Wi-Fi networks. Submit. Finalizing network setup. Adding charge points, so name your charger. It's very original, isn't it? Boom. Tariff type. Multi-rate. Supplier. Octopus. Your charger will be set with the following tailored schedule, 11 PM till 6 AM. That's fine for the moment. Oh, actually, I think I've wound it up the wrong way. That's annoying to unwind it this way now. I think I should be unwinding it that way. So the great thing about this, we've got an 8.5 meter cable, plenty long enough for both vehicles. And this electric van should start to charge. So we can see now it's saying charging 0.6 kilowatts. You know what, I think that's the speed of charge because this is pretty much fully charged and it will ramp down. So when my Tesla gets home, we'll plug it into that. It should go straight up to 7 kilowatts, 7.2 or 7.4 or whatever it is. But the point is, it's all working. And if I just click disable now, that's disabled. That should stop. Yeah, there we go. It's gone orange. There we go. Unplug, put the little cap on, and wrap it back up. So, is this my forever charger? Is this the last one I ever fit on this wall? Or you have to like and subscribe and wait and see. But I do love the look of this Andersen charger, and I'm just so glad that Andersen is back and we can start fitting their lovely charge points for all our customers once again. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you want to find out more about this charger or get a quote from us to install one, there are links below where you can find everything you need to know. But either way, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.